Kama, she has been pretty positive. The Death Wolf.
About the trailer.
Uh,
Today, BioWare unveiled a new Dragon Age Veilguard trailer and the release date. And there is a lot of spoilers in this trailer. And I know people are probably expecting a full trailer breakdown, which I will do, and I will cover everything else that was revealed. But first I want to talk.
no, there weren't really a lot of spoilers except for this. Because you're obviously in the veil, but that was already confirmed that you would be in the veil after that.
About the trailer. And what I'm about to talk about does have major spoilers, so you have been warned. But I do want to talk about Solas, and I can't stop thinking about everything that we saw. So let's talk
Tell me
about
something I
the
don't know.
Dreadwolf. First, at the very beginning of the trailer, we see Solas and Rook in the Fade.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea.
That's what I just said, yeah.
The blighted elven
This...
walk free.
Everybody knew this was gonna happen.
So Solas is pissed. And this is definitely the maddest and angriest we have ever heard him. And from the Game Informer article, we learned that Solas was trying to move Gillenane and Elgar'non. But because of what happened with Rook and Varric and the ritual failing and Solas messing up, they are freed. And this isn't the portion that has the new information. This really just confirms what it's going to look like when Solas and Rook interact. But what's more interesting is the Dreadwolf appearance at the end of the trailer.
Yeah, I said that.
We see this massive dragon fly down into what looks like a blighted Minrathous. You can see that circular city, whatever that type of structure is, that we saw in the very first 20-minute gameplay trailer. And around it is gore and blight and...
Yeah, I thought this was Solas too. The Dreadwolf, literally.
whatever that is. And this dragon descends right in the middle of it. And this dragon does appear somewhere else in the trailer, which I will go over in a second. But I want to cover this wolf that appears. And this wolf has 6 eyes.
By the way, that's not confirmed. That dragon might as well have been a dragon with almost the same knowledge.
Pride demon. And its face, and especially its nose, are very much shaped like every iteration of the actual Dreadwolf that we've seen in every piece of artwork. It also has that bright teal glow that we have seen depicted with Solas, and it makes me think of this specific piece of concept art, which is available in one of the collector editions. So that means that the artwork is still relevant. But let's look at this wolf. This wolf is a lot smaller than people may have anticipated if this is Solas. And it's also a lot smaller than the story of the wolf/dragon hybrid that we learn about in Tevinter Nights. In Tevinter Nights, the Dreadwolf's form is described as lupine in appearance, but the size of a high dragon, with shaggy spiked hide and 6 burning eyes like a pride demon, and it came to us on wings of fire that resolved themselves into a horde of lesser demons. If this is Solas and his Dreadwolf form, he can speak in this form, and it looks like there's maybe other iterations of it. Maybe there is a version where he does have large dragon-like wings. Maybe BioWare feels okay showing this because there's more to it. But even just the little bit that we did see looks like it matches what we see in Tevinter Nights. This does sound like the Dreadwolf. And I know there's theories that speculate that the Dreadwolf is actually separate from Solas, but I don't know if I really want that. I think I just want to see Solas as the Dreadwolf.
Is Dreadwolf. It is possible that they make it so he has a wolf. That is very possible.
Wolf, especially after that chapter in Tevinter Nights. Though you could probably argue for the case of it being a separate entity when you look at the concept art. Considering in almost every single piece, there is Solas and then a wolf. They are usually shown together like a pair. Either way, I think this is Solas, and we are seeing his Dreadwolf form. And the 6 eyes are a dead giveaway. And if they're showing Solus like this with his pride demon eyes, they have to explore the
Are the eyes a giveaway? Nothing about Solus says that he has 6 eyes. Like, she's saying this like it's a confirmation. Like, this is Solus as, like, transformed because of the 6 eyes. It's never told, it's never shown in concept. Well, what she showed was Solus and the wolf separately again with 6 eyes. Doesn't prove it's Solus per se. Probably is though, but doesn't prove it. That's speculation.
theories that surround him being a spirit of wisdom, corrupted by pride, being used for something against what his original purpose was. Maybe that's why everything is purple. Maybe that's why Solus's eyes are so purple. And is the reason why the new Pride Demon designs have that really prominent purple nervous system. Maybe they're really trying to make all of the connections really obvious, since that's where the story might be going.
Or they just like color purple. Like seriously, that it could have been like, oh, like yeah, like this looks cool. By the way, there are demons that have yellow tendrils, so yeah, this proves your little argument already.
There has to be more to Solus's story if this is really where his story is going. But more importantly, what the hell is going on here? This is not in the Fade. So it looks like Solus was able to escape. Maybe Rook found some way to get him out of the Fade. Maybe if Rook sides with Solus or gets in his good graces, Solus will fight on your behalf, because that's what it looks like is happening here.
I think this is when the fate has been torn, and this is him getting out of the fate. Like, these tendrils are like there's a scar now, and these tendrils are obviously from some tentacle monster. So he is actually jumping out of fate.
It looks like if this dragon
Or the monster is out of the fate.
is one of the gods that we're supposed to defy, that Solus is going to have to face them. And I really do fear that he might die in the process. Which North Gallus tweeted this, and it reminded me of this exact theory and my fear. There are a lot of stories about Solus in Elven history, and while a lot of them are not true, some of them do have merit. And this one, told by Felason, is maybe a big implication of what could happen to Solus in Veilguard. It says, the god Fen'Harel was asked by a village to kill a great beast. He came to the beast at dawn, and saw its strength and knew it would slay him if he fought it. So instead, he shot up an arrow into the sky. The villagers asked Fen'Harel how he would save them, and he said to them, when did I say that I would save you? And he left. And the great beast came into the village that night and killed the warriors and the women and the elders. It came to the children and opened its great maw. But then the arrow that Fen'Harel had loosed fell from the sky and into the great beast's mouth and killed it. The children of the village wept for their parents and elders, but they still made an offering to Fen'Harel of thanks, for he had done what the villagers had asked. He had killed the beast with his cunning and a slow arrow that the beast never noticed. And in my video where I recommended different books for people to read before Veilguard comes out, I did recommend one of the novels that Felason does show up, and he appears in The Masked Empire. And part of the reason why I think he could be important is because today, with everything that was revealed, they did reveal a new tarot card deck. And
thing from the book that you just read or whatever, lore, plus the tarot cards, they are totally irrelevant to what has been happening here. Like, she's constantly showing this image over and over, like behind this. Like, I really don't think it's related. There's nothing cunning about lunging at a dragon.
The image of Solus in it, he is holding an arrow. And Felisan was known as the slow arrow. And there's a lot of lore implications in this image, specifically the headpiece that looks almost exactly what Morrigan is wearing and looks exactly like what Flemeth was wearing. So there has to be some connections there because that headpiece is very iconic. And Solus is wearing one. Maybe this is armor that he had from the past that he decided.
How does this look like Flemeth? Images. Let's see. I'm not this Flemeth. Obviously not. Okay, but like, she has, like, look, it's different. These horn, like, she has a big horn in the middle. A big horn. And the side ones are just little spikes. It's not the same at all. Like, this part is the same though. Might have been concept art gone wrong, but I don't think it's the same as Flemeth's.
to put on now, and that headpiece was originally part of what all of them used to wear, the entire Evanuris. But maybe this is
That could be true. That the Elvengods all had, like, something that looked similar to each other, depending on what kind of god or half god they were. But I don't think they all had the same one. So yeah, she has a point. Kinda. A little bit.
is just his design. The two top pieces do kind of look like they're shaped in a way that would resemble wolf ears. So maybe this isn't really connected to Morrigan or Mythal or Flemeth. But either way, this is the armor that he's wearing currently. But it's the arrow that he's holding that stands out, especially because Solus doesn't have a bow. But we do see the Dread Wolf and the 6 eyes.
Arrow? Guys, do you see an arrow? I see this dagger. I see his armor. But weapon-wise, I see a spear. Where do you see an arrow? Spears are literally like arrow shaped, but that's why they call it a fucking spear. Oh, jeez, Louise. Like these minuscule details are just. It's not an arrow. Like, this is long enough, like, okay, this would go down like this. And yeah,
Which again,
if it stuck out here a bit, but that it's possible that it doesn't because of how it, like, stands. well, it's obviously a spear. Like, if it was only this part, that's an arrow. Not this.
Again, matches what we see in this new trailer. And something that's also really interesting about the trailer clip is that the blighted pieces look like they're reaching up towards this dread wolf. So he's not only fighting the dragon, but he's fighting the blight. So if this story told by Felason is true or has any relevancy, then Solas would be fighting knowing that he would be slayed, just like the story says. And honestly, if Solas kills himself for us, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's a bit of a tired trope. I really don't like stories where it's like any type of
I agree. It's used way too often. She's right. It would be kind of lame if he sacrifices himself and then redeems himself. He is obviously gonna be more on our side than we thought. So, yeah, it seems very likely that they'll just use the trope, like she's saying.
redemption, but it's done by death. I just think that's kind of boring. So I really hope that's not what's happening. But again, I think maybe there is some situation where Solas could die and maybe be reborn, kind of like the spirit from his own personal quest from Inquisition. But I just have no idea what to think about all of this. Whatever is going on, it looks like Solas, the Dread Wolf, is no longer trapped. He isn't forced to speak to Rook in the Fade. He is out, and it looks like he's choosing to fight. So maybe this is giving us an idea of what could happen to Solas, of how his story ends, which I have no idea what to expect. All the theorizing and speculating has given me nothing. I genuinely don't know what to expect from the end of this game. But if this trailer is any indication as to what is happening with Solas, that advisor Solas thing that people have been speculating about, which we know is kind of true, though we don't know exactly how it works, it is true. So if Solas can be on our side,
Yeah, she's also right about that. But this was also confirmed by the devs, like, quite a while ago. They said that Solus would kind of be the devil on your shoulder or something. Like, I don't know the exact quote, but they said something like that. So this is not new information.
if Solas can side with us, maybe he can join and fight with us as well. And maybe he can choose.
He won't fight with us. I mean, depends on what she means by fight with us. He can probably help a lot by doing stuff. And maybe in some sort of fight, he's doing a ritual or something that is helping in fighting. But he won't be like a companion for like a mission or something, like a secret companion. I don't think so.
Choose to die doing it. It's not what I want.
She didn't say that, by the way. She didn't say the word companion.
But I think it could be a possibility. And there are so many lore implications in this trailer, especially around Solas, the Evanuris, the Blight, and the blighted dragons that are probably the Evanuris transformed. And the same dragon that Solas was fighting in his Dreadwolf form does show up again later on in the trailer. And the headpieces kind of look like a combination of both Gillenane and Elgernon. Maybe they found a way to kind of fuse together in like a Super Saiyan way. Maybe they're extra powerful now. I really don't know what to expect.
No, I don't think so. Join forces maybe, but like, First of all, we have never seen these characters except for concept art. Uh, so I don't think they will fuse together, let's say, and make a whole different character. While we're just have been introduced, or like a few hours been introduced to the two villains, basically. Don't think they will do that. It might be a final form, but I don't see that happening. Like, this is not an anime, it's not Dragon Ball Z or something. I really don't see that happening. Maybe one of them absorbs the other one's essence. I can see that. And that's kind of a fusion, yeah. Like, I could see that happen.
But I'm scared. If Solus is fighting in his Dreadwolf form and he bites one of the blighted dragons, is he too going to become blighted?
No.
And again, is that something the Inquisitor is going to witness? What does all of this mean for a romance Solus? I don't care how delusional I sound, I still want some kind of happy ending for him. And I hope he's not extremely easy to kill either. So, can Solus Trickster God himself out of this? I genuinely don't know what he's done to get in this situation, and
I think he will. Like if it don't go with the trope, it will be either a trick that we think Souls is dead, and there's like I don't know, at the end of the game, like a zoom out view of somebody, like just the back of his face, like half of it, kind of looks like a balled out. Like I see them doing something like that, and that gives room for DLC, obviously. Like eventually hunting Solus down after the main story. Well, I could see that. Or it could be in the main story. I don't know.
don't know where his story is going. But I can't stop thinking about this trailer. There are so many connections between him, this dread wolf, Morrigan and her headpiece, and Flemeth, and I just need to know what happens. Also, today has been the best day on Twitter after this reveal, because the amount of memes that are, "Can I pet that dog?" are just the best. I have been loving seeing everybody's reaction to this soulless Dreadwolf form. I didn't know this was in the game, and I didn't even know to expect it, so I am just as surprised as everybody else. And I love it. I think he looks great. I think, if anything, he actually looks as tired as he does in his elf form. He looks a little ragged, a little worn. He really can't catch a break in any form. I also really hope that the Inquisitor is able to see Solus in this form. I feel like as the Inquisitor, we spent so much time not knowing who Solus actually was. So I feel like it's kind of important that the Inquisitor can see Solus in this form. I also really want to know if we can get on his back and he can take us for a little ride. Maybe we don't have to walk anywhere if we have our little big dread puppy taking us from place to place. I think that would be silly, but I want it just because it's so funny to imagine. And either way, I'm excited for all the artwork that is about to come and all of the funny memes out of Solus becoming a big dog. Anyways, I know this probably isn't the video you were expecting after a major reveal, but I will be doing a breakdown of everything and all of the pre-order information in my next video. But this topic I just couldn't stop thinking about, so I really just wanted to get this out there.
I get that.
And for today's creator spotlight, I wanted to highlight Luality. She's pretty well known for her Baldur's Gate 3 videos and TikToks, and she has made some really, really great content. She will be covering some Veilguard stuff in the future, and she just posted one of a reaction for today. So go check.
Yeah, I would say a bit more than half of it I disagree with. I think she took some strong leaps in her reasoning. But other than that, she's a really good, she's really good at covering Dragon Age the Veilguard. And you can easily follow her. I'll probably make a video out of this and then put a link to her channel. Even though I'm so small, nobody will see it. But yeah, she's a really good one.